Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm building a restaurant, and this is my first ever restaurant that I've ever built in The Sims, which is really weird because Dine Out has been out for I think like a year and a half. I'm not sure exactly when Dine Out came out, but it's been out for quite a while, and I've never just built a restaurant by myself. I've always just taken the ones that EA has like pre-made and then used them for my restaurants, then just kind of renovated them as I've gone along and like got better in my career. And so I've never actually just built one from scratch, and so I decided that I was going to build one. So I actually built this for the land grab family, and I basically wanted them to own it because it's going to be like the fanciest restaurant in town. And so yeah, that's kind of what influenced the style of being so modern and sleek. And I really do like the way it turns out. So as you can see, I'm just getting around the basic shape of what I want the restaurant to be. I do put in this like normal shaped roof, and I hated it. I don't know why I put that in the first place. It took me so long to try and figure out what I wanted the roof to look like, because with this build I had no inspiration or no reference pictures or anything. This was literally me just figuring it out as I was going along, and so that's why the build is a bit like messy, if that's a word. Like I don't really know what I'm doing, so I keep on moving the camera around, and I'm indecisive. And so in the end I really do like how it turned out. I think it's a beautiful restaurant, and since I built this I've always had my Sims go to it, and it's just a really cool place for your Sims to go. So as I mentioned, the roofing does change. I don't even know how to describe what I did, but I think I left it in. I'm not completely sure, but I did a bit in the middle and at the front. So at the front, right by the drop down to the bottom, I did like a skylight, as you can see now, and then through the middle I did another skylight, and then just used half walls around the rest of the build because it was the most modern kind of look that I could go for. And I really wish that we could connect the two skylights together so there wasn't like a little bit of a ceiling in between them, and I do try and like connect them, and I obviously failed because we can't do that, so I don't know why I tried to do that. But now we're moving on to the landscaping, and so the landscaping I do cut out quite a lot because it is so repetitive. I didn't want it to be really like suburban-y, homey kind of thing. It is very plain and very basic. So I just kind of add a few plants and little bits and bobs here and there, and I do actually add this pool which I'm doing now. And for some reason it was really frustrating me. You cannot put a fountain on the top of an apartment like this, but you can put a pool, and that makes no sense to me whatsoever. So in the end, I actually did just go with the pool, not the fountain, and I tried to make it look like a fountain, and so I put like a little fence around it so no Sims can jump in it, because if I didn't, I know that some Sims will try and jump in it, and I don't want that. It's meant to be a fountain. So I did put like a little kind of fencing edging around it so they won't do that. And now I'm just going in and adding some fountain, are they called, I don't know, obviously they're fountains, but I'm not sure the technical the little like sprinkler flowy things. I'm really good with terminology, I promise. Them kind of things, that's what I'm going in and adding now. And I did actually cut it out, but I did do the slates from Spa Day on top of it at first, and I just wasn't really feeling it, and so I did just delete it and add them little swooshy fountainy things. So now I'm just going in and doing the landscaping, as I just said. This is very basic, but I kind of like the way it turned out. In the end, like originally I did this and then kind of left it, and then I came back to it and actually put in some small trees, but I sized them down so they were even smaller. And I really like the way that it turned out, and I'm just overall really happy with this build. So this build isn't a limited packed build at all. I literally went all out. I didn't have any restrictions, but I do want to mention that I did build this before Get Famous came out, and I kind of wanted this to be in my game when Get Famous came out because I wanted it to be like kind of a hotspot kind of thing. And so yes, this has no Get Famous in it, so it just has every other pack. Or I'm assuming every other pack. I didn't limit myself, but I'm not sure. I will let you know in the description bar below what the packs are used. So if you have them, you can go and download it. And I think, I've never actually tried it myself, but I think if you have some packs, not all of them, and you download something that like has all the packs, it replaces them. But I'm not sure how accurate that is. I've just heard people say that, but I'm not completely sure myself because I've never downloaded something with content that I don't own, because I'm that person that just buys all the packs just because I love playing The Sims and I love having new furniture and new clothing. And yeah, so anyway, moving on into the interior, I did delete the ceiling above. Originally I was going to do a 2-story, but then I felt like it would just look so much better if it was like a big like drop ceiling. And I do actually go in and put the City Living painting, like the really, really big one. I've never used that in any of my builds, and I was able to use it in this because it had such a big ceiling, and it turned out really, really nice. And so now I'm just going in and doing the bathrooms. The bathrooms are the exact same, just one is for boys and one is for girls. They're literally replicas of it, apart from the boys' bathroom, which is on the right-hand side, actually has the window looking out onto like the fountains and like the other fountains and the plants and stuff, because there's multiple fountains in this build, which, like I said, are actually pools, but you can't really tell when I've put the fencing around them. And so I'm just going in and doing the bathroom now. I'm adding these little base game counters, which are really quite traditional looking, like polished, if that's the word. And then I do add this mirror from Seasons, and it's my favourite mirror in the game. I absolutely love this mirror. So yeah, and now I'm just cluttering it up with some tissues, and I think I do like some little, what's it called? You know when you go into a bathroom or whatever at a restaurant, they have like hairspray and all that. I kind of imagined they would have this, and so I do add like the little body spray things, I think it is. It's like in a little basket. I'm not sure what it's actually called, but I do add them as well in both the bathrooms just because that's what I imagined this restaurant would have, because it's so fancy. So moving on to the new pack that was released. So Get Famous actually came out yesterday, and I'm recording this on... Well, it actually technically came out this morning because it is the 16th today, but I got it literally at like midnight last night, so it feels like yesterday. And I just want to say, if you do have this pack, there's so many things in this pack that you can go and like put in if you want. And like the pack just suits this build so well. It's almost like it was made for it. Obviously it wasn't, but it feels like there's so much stuff that could be incorporated in this build from that pack, and I'm really, really happy with that pack. I actually was quite proud of myself because normally the packs get released and I want to know absolutely everything about the packs. I want to know every single clothing and hair and lamps and beds and sofas, and I didn't do this that time, and I'm actually really, really like happy that I didn't, because when I downloaded the game yesterday, I actually got to actually experience the excitement for myself, if that makes any sense, rather than watching other people kind of go through and show them and like show everyone what's in the pack. And I actually got to experience it for myself firsthand doing it, and it was actually such a good feeling. Like, I don't know why I can't just limit myself to not doing it in the future, but when I saw all the build and buy objects, I was absolutely overjoyed. So many objects that I'm so excited to use. Apart from, I mean, I don't know how popular this opinion is, but I really do not like the gold in the pack. I think it's not a great colour, if I'm honest. I will never ever use the gold in the pack, and it's a shame because there's quite a lot of gold in the pack itself, a lot of black and golds, and I do wish they came in some more neutral kind of colours. But again, I mean, I see why they did the gold, because obviously gold's associated with like fame and all that kind of stuff, but I kind of wish that they would still add them, but maybe with a few more swatches. And like one of the beds has like some crazy zebra print on it, and it's like pink and there's cheetah print, and I personally will never use it. I do like the more like suburban-y, I think it's 70s style or 60s style kind of furniture. I do really enjoy that kind of furniture, and so I am really, really happy that they did incorporate two different styles into the pack. And so yeah. So now you can just see me going in and cluttering the kitchen up. And I actually spent so much time on this kitchen, it was a joke. Like, I think this took me like 4 hours to build, maybe 5, I'm not sure. It took me quite a while to build this. But the majority of that time was me actually just doing the kitchen. I went so in depth with this kitchen. I don't know what came over me. I didn't want it just to be the bland, plain kitchen like it is in the EA like pre-made restaurants, because a lot of them are literally just a few cabinets and that's it. And so I literally just went in and put everything that I could think of and everything that related to a restaurant kitchen in this kitchen. And so it did take me quite a while to do this, but the shelves are actually duplicated. So I did a shelf for each station. So there is 3 stations for the chefs, 2 which are just like the normal stations, and then one of the stations does go into the wall so they can kind of put the dishes on, and then like the waitress can come and grab it. And so each station does have like a set of shelves with like them little fake like spatulas and spoons and stuff hanging off them. And I put in just like a load of bits and bobs that kind of made it look realistic, and I just duplicated that the 3 times when I was doing the shelves, because I feel like I used every single object that I could put on the shelf or size up and then put on the shelf. On the shelves, oh my god, I'm saying on the shelf so much, but so I didn't want to like put random stuff on there, so I just went in and duplicated it. But I don't actually keep in the other 2 shelf making process. I do just do the one, and then I thought it would be a bit boring if I kept in the other ones. But now I'm just going around, and I just added them the wine rack kind of thing. I love that. I've always wanted to put that in my builds, but it's so bulky. I can never find the perfect place to do it. I mean, I could actually create a cellar in one of my builds. That would actually be really, really cool to create a cellar. But I'm happy that I got to use it, and I'm happy that I got to use a little like rack thing with all the boxes and stuff. I'm also happy I got to use that. I never use that either. It's just like I'm using so much stuff in this build that I've never even used, just because I've never built a restaurant before, which is really surprising. But now we're going to move on to like the main restaurant bit. I do it in like 2 sections. We have kind of like the main section with the tables and the seating area for the restaurant, and then I do have by the toilets a little section where there's like a sofa and like a little coffee table, and I imagined that it was like some really, really fancy restaurant, but you could get delivery, or like when you like order in, you go and collect, not click and collect, because that's like Tesco's and stuff, but I know what I'm on about. I imagined that was what you could do, and so there was like a little waiting room kind of thing. It's absolutely adorable. I love the way it turned out, and I actually got to use the get to work couch, which I never really use, because it's like you can't really put that in your normal builds. So I got to use it because it was obviously, this is not a normal build, because I never ever build community lots, like ever, and so I'm really happy that I got to be able to do it, and I really want to do some more, but I really struggle with the look of community like lots. So I can furnish them fine, I just can't, like, I did a bowling alley a few weeks ago, and it was so bad. Like, I couldn't upload it. It was absolutely terrible. It was basically just like a block on a block. It looked absolutely dreadful, so I didn't upload it, because I don't want to upload content that I'm personally not happy with myself, and I feel like if I'm not going to be happy with it, you're not going to be happy with it, so obviously I deleted it. But I can never do community lots. That's something that I really, really need to work on. And another thing that I really need to work on is the terrain manipulation tool. I am so bad at that. So a little bit of background, I've been playing The Sims literally since I can remember. And when The Sims 3 had terrain manipulation, I was really young actually when Sims 3, well, it was always in the game, I believe, with Sims 3, but I could never ever do it, like, and so I kind of like shrugged it off. And then when they announced it, I was kind of nervous, because I was like, I don't really know how to do it properly. Like, I feel like whatever I do is just kind of like a mess. So I really need to learn. Maybe I can watch like a tutorial or like a helping video, or just read some stuff about it, or maybe I just need to find some inspirational pictures and try and like manipulate them. I'm not sure. But anyway, now moving on to the seating area. So I do these two little tables by the big windows, and I think they're such a perfect location for if you're on like a nice day or whatever, and you're sitting with your date and you're looking over the city and you've got some nice food and stuff. And I think it's really, really great. And I did actually delete the footage of me going through the tables just because it was absolutely pointless. I ended up just going for the standard look of like dining tables with the cloth on, which I'm using now. But it did actually take me some time trying to figure out which ones I wanted to use. But it was really boring, and so I just skipped over that part, and I'm just doing this bit now. So this does also have a outdoor seating area, which originally when I was like, right, I'm going to build this restaurant, I didn't know what I was going to build. But I knew that I wanted to obviously build the indoor bit because that's kind of needed in a restaurant. But I didn't know what I was going to do with the outdoor space. And then I decided that I was going to do like an outdoor, like a replica of the indoors but outdoors, and make it look really like cute and stuff. And I am so happy with the way it turned out. It actually turned out to be the best part of the build, when I initially wanted the interior to be the best bit of the build. But it looks so beautiful. I used the lights from City Living and just trying to make like twinkly lights, and it looks so nice. And it's so nice like to get pictures there and stuff. And so I'm really, really happy with it. And now I'm just going over and putting the objects on the table. So on the smaller table, I only have 3 objects, and that is the little candle, the flower decoration, and the napkin holder. And I only did the like tea light candle on the single tables because I feel like with the single tables with the 2 chairs, it's more intimate. Like, you wouldn't go there with your family or whatever, you'd go there with a date. And so I wanted the candle to kind of replicate like that was like an intimate table, and so that's why I didn't put them on the bigger tables and I only put them on the smaller tables. But now we're going over and doing this little area right next to the kitchen, and I really, really struggled building this because I didn't know what the hell was going to go there. I think I put a fish tank there, and I know that I put the knight statue there, but I can't remember what else I put there. I know that I also did put the dividers from, I think, this City Living in that space as well, and I kind of spiced that up by using some curtains from, it's Vintage Glamour, that's the packet I was thinking of. So I actually just put them in, and then I kind of used moved objects and put the curtains on the divider, because otherwise it was just so open and it didn't feel like great like when I was in it. And so I wanted to kind of close it off and kind of section it like, right, this is the seating area, this is the other area. And so that's what I did. And now I'm going in and just adding some security cameras, which I didn't actually know was in the game. I don't know how, because it came with Get to Work, I believe. Get to Work's been out forever, since like 2015, I think. I feel like all I've done this voiceover is just try and remember when packs came out, but I didn't know there was security cameras, and I thought, well, if this is going to be such a high wanted lot, then I need security cameras because everyone's going to want to come here. And so I did add some security cameras in at the front. And so now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to put next to this little marble thing. As I did mention, I did put the statue of the knight, but it took me so long to try and figure it out because obviously I had no idea what I was doing with this lot from the get-go, and I was just kind of experimenting, trying to figure out what I wanted. And you can just see just there, I just put the City Living kind of divider, and now I'm trying it with the Spa Day divider because I didn't know what I wanted at first. And I do really, really like them dividers. I often use them as fences in my house, in my houses, not in my house. And I think they're really, really cool. And you can just see I've added the knight statue. But I do try and find the ones that I wanted from... Oh, are they from Vintage Glamour? I thought they were from City Living. Okay, the ones that I just put down are actually from Vintage Glamour. I thought they were from City Living. I don't even think there's ones that are from City Living. Looking at that menu just then, I don't even think there was any that came with City Living. I'm not sure. Maybe there was. But anyway, you can see what I was just talking about, where I'm putting in the curtains. In the end, I did have to delete that wall and just kind of rebuild it in like a minute, just so I could like properly place them where I wanted. And I don't know why I rebuilt it and then re-put the like painting on it, because I ended up deleting it anyway because I needed to do the other side. So I don't know why I did that. I was a bit stupid, but it's fine. It only wasted like 30 seconds. But yeah, and you can just see how much it really closes off the area and just makes it so like, I don't know what the word is, but I'm just going to go with better. That's the word that I'm going to use. It just makes it look better. And the white and the kind of like goldy tin on the metal matches the chairs perfectly as well. And so yeah, I'm really, really happy with the way that part turned out. So I would just like to say, I did actually make a menu for this restaurant because I didn't want just it to be like a diner or one of the preset menus. I did actually make one for this lot myself, and I used basically the most expensive items that you can use in the game, because that was the kind of theme with this restaurant, it being like a really big fancy posh place to go. And so I did actually do that, and then I also did add waiter and waitresses outfits, but the thing is they are CC. So the outfits that I use for the women are all CC. I don't believe that there's any like actual outfits, what's the word, like clothing that isn't CC. I literally am so bad at English, I can't believe it, but I didn't actually use any of that. So I think I might go back in and re-edit them to be just like the outfits that come with Dine Out, I'm thinking. And so yeah, so if you download this, I should have edited it back, and I'm really sorry if I hadn't, but I should have. I'm gonna set a reminder and make sure I do that, because otherwise that's gonna be really annoying when like you go into a restaurant and your Sims that are serving you are naked, because that's not really ideal, especially for the reputation I want this place to have. And so I will go in and change that. But now you can just see me going in and trying to figure out what to put above the chef station. I did eventually put a sign, I think it was the same one that was from the outside. Oh no, it's a different one, but it's kind of like the same kind of style. And now I think I'm going to move on to the outside. Yeah, I do move on to the outside. And I just sized that kind of sign up. I imagined it's just said the name of the restaurant, which is Sky Restaurant. I know that's not very creative, but it worked for me. If you want to change the name of it, you can change the name of it. It doesn't have to be called the Sky Restaurant. But that's just what I named it in my game. So now, as you can see, I'm just placing the tables and stuff. I do actually shift these all to the left a little bit because I wanted to make an extra like greenery area. And I felt like the space that I had was only like two, or no, I think it was just like one like square, like a tile kind of thing. And so I do actually move it all along to the left and create a really cool little green area. And I don't know why I'm shifting it more to the right, because in a minute I do actually move it to the left. I know I've said that like 5 times, but I do. And you can see me just doing it now. And I do actually add a bar. And at first I just thought, right, it's going to be for decoration. No one's going to actually use it. But when I've played in this lot, the Sims actually, like, there's bartenders that come there, and I didn't think that worked in the Sims like restaurants. I thought if you had a bar it would just be an empty bar, but there is actually like mixologists that have been hired and that they're on the lot, and I didn't even have to hire them myself for my Sim, like, because my Sim owns the restaurant. And so that was quite cool that it kind of added an extra feature. And that little fountain there just by the table and chairs, I did delete that. I did initially I wanted to include it, but I don't know what I was thinking, I just deleted it. And so yeah, you can just see me adding some of the landscaping. I think I put in another fountain here. I'm pretty sure I put one in the middle section where I'm just kind of trying to separate all of the plants because I didn't want it to be too cluttered up. But I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't actually used any flowers in this lot. I didn't want like the flower look, if that made any sense. I wanted it to be sleek and modern and no flowers. So I didn't add any flowers. I mean, I think I added that tree. Yeah, that tree stays, but I'm pretty sure I move it over to the right hand side. Apart from that, I don't add any other flowers. Oh no, I didn't. I put is that a cats and dogs tree? I don't even know. There's so many packs now. I'm honestly confused what trees are what, but I must have kept the jungle adventure tree over there. Okay, I'm literally discovering this at the same time as you, because obviously I can't even remember what I did myself. And so yeah, now I'm just going over and putting some more plants and just landscaping it a little bit. I feel absolutely certain that I did actually add a fountain, but obviously I was wrong. But yeah, so in a minute I am actually going to fence it off, so it's like a little secluded area. And I do add them lights, as I mentioned, from City Living, because originally I wanted to put the lights from Toddler Fun Stuff, the Toddler Stuff Pack. I don't know what it's called. It might just be called Toddler Stuff Pack, I'm not sure. That pack, I added in them little like light bulb yellowy lights. I love them lights, but they didn't look right, and I'm pretty sure they didn't fit as well, and so I had to like I'm pretty sure they didn't fit, because I think I put in the City Living lights and then I deleted it, and then I put in the Toddler lights, and then I deleted that and then redid it, and I redid that like sequence about 4 times, and in the end I had to go with the City Living ones because the Toddler ones wouldn't fit properly. And so yeah, I think that's what I'm just going in and doing now. Oh no, I try and separate it with a divider first. Yeah, okay, that's what I did. I'm really bad at voiceovers, I don't know if you can tell, and my voice is actually a little bit like crackly. I stayed up so late last night. Obviously, as I mentioned, Get Famous came out and I was awake for the like release in the UK. And all of a sudden I looked at my phone and it was like 10 to 5 in the morning, and yeah, so I'm really, really tired, and I woke up at like 10, I think. Well, I actually woke up at like 4 because my boyfriend woke up and went to the gym. But yeah, I'm really tired, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds really crackly and just horrible, but that's why. I mean, it was for The Sims, so it can't be that terrible. But now I'm just going in and adding some like heater things. I love them heater things. I don't know what they're called. What are they? Like patio heaters, I think that's their name. Yeah, them. I love them. I think I mentioned this before in my Oasis Springs build. But I just love when you go to like a club or whatever and they have them and you're outside and it's just so like cozy and warm and it's just so nice, but then you like kind of get too hot and yeah. But anyway, you can now see me doing the light bulbs, and I really wish that these would come in like different sizes, because you're kind of limited on what you can do. And even with the City Living ones, I still had to like adjust the size of it, because it's not like the correct kind of sizing that I had, if that makes any sense. I tried to do a thing where I could like kind of double it up and so I could get twice the thing, but I'm pretty sure I deleted that and just kind of made it all in one. And yeah, you could just see me deleting it, and I was like, no, I want to use the bulb lights, but the bulb lights are too big. And so yeah, obviously I had to go back and do the City Living one. And I don't know why I like redid this when I could have just done like the redo button, but I don't know, that's what I did. But how adorable does this look? It is so nice, especially when you're actually in-game and it's at night time and you're sitting like down and you've got a glass of wine. It's so nice. I really recommend doing this in a build if you've got the City Living lights. It really just, it's so cinematic, it's beautiful. And yeah, it looks really, really good. And so now I'm just going in and just finishing up the like lift part. I got really confused at first because I've never put lifts into my game, because I haven't really built on this lot or the other lots since like City Living in the world, and so I didn't know where you find the lifts, and so I actually had to make it a residential, and then found the lift and then reverted back to a restaurant because I couldn't find the lift for the life of me. And then I found out that you can only have one lift in the building, which is a bit silly because it's not like we can use the lifts, it's just they kind of go in the lift and then just disappear like a rabbit hole kind of thing, and then they come out the other side, but whatever. But now I'm going in and just adding the lighting around, and I didn't want them to have ceiling lights because obviously that's going to be really annoying because it's obviously like a glass roof and stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I added loads of lights behind that big picture, because I didn't want it to be like a really dull kind of area because there obviously couldn't be no lights, and so I just add some really big lights behind it and just literally just went everywhere with them. I just wanted it to be really nice and bright. And now I'm just getting around to the end of this video. Actually, I'm just finishing off put in some bits and bobs. I'm not sure, I think I just had some lights out here, I'm not completely sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really sorry about me rambling and my voice being so croaky and horrible, but I hope that you liked it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.